Chapter 1. New Haven, Montana, June 1895. Hetty couldn't say what had woken her. Her eyes had simply snapped open and she'd known something was amiss. Sure enough, she found the rope had been chewed through, the frayed ends still wet. Damn it, Abby. This was the third time in 2 weeks. She yanked her coat over her thin nightgown, grabbed her boots and Winchester, and padded quickly down the stairs. Outside, she pushed her bare feet into the cold, hard leather and checked her rifle's action, loading it quickly. Coyotes were often seen roaming the ranch, and there'd been rumors of a pack of wolves roving the hills. But out here, it was men Hetty feared most. Silvery blue light fringed the horizon like a cataract. She scrubbed the crust from her eyes and scanned the fields for any sign of her sister. Though she was nearly 10, Abby was small for her age and barely left footprints. Ma sometimes said she'd tread the world like a ghost. The long, dried grass bowed with a sigh beneath a sudden gust of wind, revealing a freshly trampled break in the fronds. Hetty headed in that direction. She found Abby standing knee-high in the creek, her nightgown soaking up to her hips. Her glazed, unblinking, violet eyes stared into the middle distance, mouth gaping open. She didn't even register Hetty's arrival. Hetty slung the rifle across her back and sloshed into the icy cold water. She gave her a gentle shake. "Abby, what are you doing?"
"Oh."
The little girl blinked sleepily up at her and smiled.
"I was just talking to my friends."
"What have we told you? You shouldn't be wandering away from the house." Hetty led her onto the creek bed, where she did her best to wring out her sopping nightgown.
"The water helps me hear them better,"
Abby said simply. Hetty reined in her annoyance. Abby's friends always wanted to talk at the most inconvenient times. "Well, you're going to have to say goodbye to them for now." She tilted her chin to the side and her gaze clouded.
"Okay. They say that's fine."
She shivered. Hetty put her coat around her sister's shoulders, rubbing her arms vigorously, then led her back toward the house. Over the edge of the embankment, she heard the crunch of grass as a lean figure trudged along the path. Hetty unslung the Winchester in a flash and pointed it at the man's heart. He halted, staggering back.
"Man alive, Hetty, what are you doing out here?"
"Uncle." The thumping of her heart eased as she lowered the rifle. Abby got out of her harness again. The old man scratched his gray-white stubble, frowning.
"Well, you need to lock her in her room at night and keep her from leaving."
Hetty swept past him without responding, urging Abby on with one hand protectively at her back.
"It's for her own safety,"
he insisted, trailing them back to the house.
"There are protection spells all over the place she might accidentally stumble over and ruin it. Magic ain't cheap anymore, you know. And I ain't responsible if she goes stepping into a fox trap."
"That why you up so early, Uncle?" It was hardly a term of endearment, since they weren't related, but Pa had insisted she called the old man that. She noted his rumpled clothes and bloodshot eyes. His breath reeked of whiskey. He glared.
"I'm up 'cause your pa expects me to keep watch over things while you're both in town. I'll be making sure this one doesn't wander off, that's for sure."
Hetty kept her mouth shut. If he watched Abby as well as he watched the cattle, her sister would be halfway to China by the time he noticed. The three of them clomped into the house. Her father was already awake and brewing coffee.
"Morning, Jeremiah,"
he greeted Uncle, then raised one dark eyebrow at his damp, half-dressed daughters.
"This something we need to tell your mother about?"
he asked as they warmed up by the stove. "We need a stronger rope," Hetty mumbled.
"And a latch on the door,"
Uncle added. John Alabama's thick black mustache twitched. He smoothed Abby's fine white blonde hair off her wide brow and gave her a kiss. She didn't react, engrossed by the fire licking up the wood in the stove. He sighed. Abby had been born like this. Touched, Ma sometimes said. And while they all loved her, it pained Hetty to see how much effort it took Pa not to show his sadness and frustration. Her father poured coffee for himself and Uncle just as Grace Alabama swept into the kitchen, swathed in her heavy dressing gown. "Why didn't you wake me, John? I could have made you breakfast."
"We've got biscuits and cheese for the road. We'll be fine."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.